Thank you. Man, oh man, what a life. But we took care of the VA with Veterans Choice. You saw that. What Obama passed was nothing. It was nothing. It wasn't working. The Mission Act. That's amazing. And accountability, where we can fire people in the VA that aren't taking great care of our vets, okay? You're fired. Get out. You're fired. Out. We killed the founder and leader of ISIS, al-Baghdadi. We took out the world's #1 terrorist and the mass murderer of American troops and many others, Qasem Soleimani. He's dead. I withdrew from last administration's disastrous Iran nuclear deal. I kept my promise, recognized the true capital of Israel, and opened the American embassy in Jerusalem. And we got it built. I was signing a sheet of paper. You've heard this story. $1.1 billion. I said, what's this for? They said, sir, we're going to, now that you've moved, we're going to build an embassy in Israel, in Jerusalem. I say, how much is it? 1.1 billion. You got some friends of mine here, they're builders. You don't spend 1.1 billion on a one-story building. I don't know what's going on. So I said, so, does it have to cost so much? Yes, sir, we're buying land. So I called David Friedman. He's our ambassador. He was one of the most successful lawyers in New York. He's a brilliant guy. He loves Israel, right? Loves Israel. I call him. He's ambassador. He's there. I said, David, they want to spend 1.1 billion on a damn one-story embassy. It's crazy. I said, would you take a look? Maybe we own some land, you know. We own a lot of land. We've been there a long time. Calls me back. He said, let me take a look at it, sir. He calls me back the next day. Sir, we have a great piece of land. A much better location that we were going to way overpay for. A much bigger piece. We have a setback building that we can renovate and make it great. I said, that's fantastic, David. How much will it cost to renovate the building? I think we can do it for $190,000. So I said, David, it's the first time I've ever done it. I said, David, it's too cheap. You got to spend more than that. So a friend of mine, Ron Barron, he's got an office building, and he's got Jerusalem stone on the facing the elevators in this high-rise building. Jerusalem stone. And every time I go and he goes, oh, you got to see Jerusalem stone. This is, he paid a fortune for it. He's so proud of it. He doesn't talk about anything but his Jerusalem stone. I said, David, do me a favor. You're in Jerusalem, right? Yes. Do they have Jerusalem stone? They got so much we don't know what to do with it. I said, use all Jerusalem stone when you're rebuilding the building, when you do your renovation. Everything, wrap it in Jerusalem stone. So I think we ended up spending to fix up the building like $500,000. Can you believe it? We're going to spend $1.1 billion. And by the way, it would never get built. It would never get built. It wouldn't be built in 20 years from now. And they like it so much, they gave up the plan. They think this is better. It's a better location. It's probably a better building. The Biden agenda. But these, I could tell you stories like that all night long. The aircraft carriers that cost 10 times more than they should cost. And then they use, you know, the electric catapults. You've heard that, right? They don't want to use steam. Why? Because it's too simple. Because it works. Because it's better. So they go to electric catapults that they're working on for years now. Elevators that are operated by magnets instead of hydraulic magnets. It sounds good. Trust me, it doesn't work. One little glass of water. We're in the ocean. One little glass of water, boom, those magnets are gone. I could have told them that. I actually asked the architect, have you ever built a ship before? It's unbelievable. You heard the story last night about Air Force One. We saved a lot of money. I said to Boeing, no, it's got to have a 3 in front of it. They were going to buy Air Force One, $5.7 billion. $5.7 billion. It's a lot of money, but look, it's a hell of a deal. It's a hell of a plane. What can I tell you? I said, how much is the new plane? It was signed by Obama. $5.7 billion, sir. I said, that's a lot of money. It's actually 2 planes. You know, Air Force One is 2 planes. I'll give you a little. They're going to say that's classified information. Well, they've been flying around with 2 planes for 30 years. So I assume somebody knows. And our Air Force One is 31 years old, right? So, you know, look, it's time. A lot of the Arab sheiks come in. I see their plane. They have a brand new one. I say, what do we have, 31 years? And we're protecting them. Why the hell don't we have a new one? So I said, so they finally had it, 31 years old. The new one's totally different, 747. It's much longer, bigger wingspan, much more beautiful. You know, it's modern, it's beautiful. 5.7, so I said to the head of Boeing, nice guy, Dennis. This was before they had their difficulty, which is terrible what happened to him. But I said to him, Dennis, I'm not going to spend $5.7 billion on a plane. I'm not going to do it. I won't do it. It's too much. I said last night, I told this the first time, I said, it's got to have a 3 on it. He said, we can't do it. No. He called me up the following day, we'll take $200 million off. I said, somebody said, well, what are you losing? I said, nothing. In fact, we're gaining a generator. I said, you got to build an extra generator. He said, we'll take $200 million off. I said, nope. I said to the general in charge, I said, General, can we break the deal? Yes, sir, we can. We have a cancellation clause. Good, General. Execute your cancellation clause. We're not going to buy it. I'm not going to pay $5.7 billion for Air Force One. I'm not doing it. He said, yes, sir, I'm very proud of this clause. Why? Why? Because we have the right to cancel. Well, do we have to pay anything? Yes, sir, $250 million. I said, General, don't cancel it. Don't take it back. I don't. Just tell them we don't like the plane. Okay? And I couldn't even say I'm going to buy it from Europe. You know, the only competitor is Europe. I can't say we'll buy it from Europe. No, that doesn't work out too well. So I said, don't do it. I don't want to send them a check, $250 million for nothing, right? We don't want to do it. So I said, just tell them we don't like it. The price is too high. We're not going to buy it. But don't send anything. Don't put it in writing. Don't. Please, General. Yes, sir. Thank you. So about a week later, the head of Boeing called me up. He said, look, we can get it down, but you're asking for too much. I said, you don't understand. It has to have a 3 on it. Not a 4, but a 3. So another month goes by. I forgot about it. I get a call from Boeing. Would $3.9 billion be okay? I said, yes, that's okay. It's got a 3 on it. True story. True story, and then somebody said it's true. Then somebody said, well, it must be a different plane. Yeah, I said, yeah, we have a much nicer paint job. We have a much nicer paint job, you know that, and it actually got an extra generator put on, okay? So it's actually more. They said, well, we could use an extra generator. I said, is there anything else you need? I said, sir, we could use an extra generator. I said, we'll get it for you. We'll get it. So I had it included in the price. You know, these people know exactly what I'm talking about. It's called included in the price. But think of it. There's hundreds of deals like that. But you're one person. And that's why I got Mark Meadows involved. Because he's from North Carolina. He's from North Carolina, and he's cheap as hell. I need some cheap people. Oh, there's so many, hundreds and hundreds of stories. I could tell you so much, it's crazy. The Biden agenda would collapse our economy and destroy your country. It would destroy your Social Security and protections for pre-existing conditions. It will. He's going to drain your Medicare by giving away your health care to illegal immigrants. And I will tell you this, you're going to have socialized medicine. That's as sure as you're there. And Obama lied 28 times when he said you can keep your doctor, you can keep your plan. It was a lie. Said it 28 times that we have. But it was a lie. But now you're really losing your doctor. You're going to have socialized medicine. Eliminate private health care insurance for 180 million Americans who love their health care. They have the best in the world. His running mate sponsored the socialist takeover of health care. You saw that. He wants to ban private insurance. You're going to lose 180 million people going to lose their health care under this Biden character. And he has no clue. They're going to take it away from him. They're going to be running him ragged. Sign this. Sign this. Okay, what is it? Doesn't matter. Just sign it, President, right now. I'm getting tired. I'd like to rest. I'd like to let Kamala take over as president. That's no way to get into the office, because we're going to have a woman president someday. But you know what? It can't be Kamala. Nobody treated him worse than he picked her. I'll tell you, I was brilliant forecast. He could never pick her. She called him a racist, right? She talked about Me Tooing him. He was going to be Me Too'd, right? Me Too'd. A lot of bad things. There was nobody, even Think of it. Even Pocahontas treated him better. She knocked the hell out of Bloomberg, but she left him sort of alone. I think she felt sorry for him. I heard she felt sorry for him. I don't want people to feel sorry for our president. I want other people, really, to feel sorry for themselves because we have somebody that knows what they're doing. We can't have this. You know, we can joke, we can play games, we can have fun. You can't have this guy as your president. You can't have... Maybe I'll sign an executive order. You cannot have him as your president. No, but you know this. Everybody knows this. And you know what? People are going to vote for him because they feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for him, too. I feel sorry for him. And maybe he'll show up for an hour and a half at a debate. Who the hell knows? I don't know. But you know, you see the condition he's in. You can't have him as your president. And you know what? You can't have her as your vice president, potentially going to be president. And that's why they're pushing so hard, because they know he's going to be out very soon, and she's going to take over. And she is the furthest left person of anybody. She is rated, not by me, she is rated further left than even Bernie Sanders, okay? He's second, she's first. And just in concluding, over the next 4 years, we will make America into the manufacturing superpower of the world. And we will end our reliance on China and other countries once and for all. We will make our medical supplies right here in the United States. And right here in the great state of North Carolina. By the way, get out and vote, please, okay? Get out of here. We will hire more police. Thank you, sheriffs. Thank you, sheriffs. I love the sheriff. You know, we got the endorsement from all the sheriffs in Florida, everybody up in Ohio and Texas, and we have the stuff, nobody's ever seen anything like it, the endorsements from law enforcement. We're going to increase penalties for assaults in law enforcement. We will ban deadly sanctuary cities. We will defeat everybody that we have to, including the virus, but we will defend the dignity of work, and we will defend the sanctity of life. We will uphold religious liberty, free speech, and the right to keep and bear arms. We will strike down terrorists who threaten our citizens, and we will keep you know this, right? It's okay, right? We will keep America out of these ridiculous foreign wars. We will maintain America's unrivaled military might, and we will ensure peace through strength. It's about time. We will end surprise medical bills, require price transparency, and further reduce health insurance premiums and the cost of prescription drugs, which we're doing an unbelievable job on, other than the fact that the drug companies are spending a fortune because they don't like me much. You will see drug prices, prescription drugs, dropping 50, 60, 70% in a very short period of time. Favored nations clauses. We will strongly protect Medicare and Social Security, and we will always protect patients with pre-existing conditions. America will land the first woman on the moon, and the United States will be the first nation to land an astronaut on Mars. You have to see what we've done with NASA. We'll be the first one on Mars, I hope. We will stop the radical indoctrination of our students and restore patriotic education to our schools. Patriotic education. We will teach our children to love our country, honor our history, and always respect our great American flag. And we will live by the timeless words of our national motto, and we will never change it, by the way. We will never change it. You know, they took the word God out of the Pledge of Allegiance twice. I said, did they make a mistake? Did they make a mistake? They didn't for them. They made a mistake for us. We're not going to put up with it. But we will keep. In God we trust. For years, you had a president who apologized for America. Now you have a president who is standing up for America and standing up for the great people of North Carolina. This is the most important election we've ever had. Remember it. We're going to be a socialist country. We're going to be a communist country. These people are they're much further left than socialism. These people are sick. So get your friends, get your family, get your neighbors, get your co-workers, and get out and vote. Get out and vote. And watch to make sure they're not cheating, which they will be. Early voting has already begun. Don't wait. Get out and vote. We got to win this. If we win this state, we're going to win the whole thing. This is a very important state. If we win North Carolina, we're going to win the whole thing. Because we're doing well everywhere. From Wilmington to Charlotte, from Concord to Raleigh, and from Greensboro to right here in Fayetteville. We inherit the legacy of generations of North Carolina patriots who gave their blood, sweat, and tears for this beloved nation. We stand on the shoulders of American heroes who crossed the oceans, blazed the trail, settles the continent, tamed the wilderness, dug out the Panama Canal, laid down the railroads, raised up the skyscrapers, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and made America the single greatest nation in the history of the world. And you haven't seen anything yet. Haven't seen it. Proud citizens like you help build this country, and together we are taking back our country. We are returning power to you, the American people, with your help, with your devotion and your drive. We are going to keep on working, we are going to keep on fighting, and we are going to keep on winning, winning, winning. You hear that, Joe? We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. And together with the incredible people of North Carolina, we will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you very much. Get out and vote. Vote, vote, vote.
Welcome back to Water's World. Now for the top story tonight, Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away last night at the age of 87 after a battle with cancer. Here's how President Trump reacted when he heard the news.
Just died? Wow. I didn't know that. I just, you're telling me now for the first time. She led an amazing life. What else can you say? She was an amazing woman.
One of the most liberal justices on the court, she was worshipped by millions of Americans who admired her tenacity, intellect, and spirit. An iconic justice who will be missed by many. God rest her soul. President Trump plans to nominate someone next week. He says a woman soon to fill the vacancy and urged Republicans to take action without delay. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says the nominee will receive a vote.
Believing things that weren't true.
Trump. We need very sharp people. Joe is not qualified for this position.
Joining us now is Julie Cohen, the co-director and co-producer of RBG. Julie, welcome to the program.
Good to be here, Josh.
I don't know if people realize it or not, but
This is CNN.
Right now, as the president was finishing up his conversation, we have another tropical depression that I think is forming into a #1 hurricane right there. Right there. In addition to another one or two that's still out in the Atlantic floating around, not knowing what's going to become of them. You may be saying, well, Dennis, what's your point? How come we have a president that refuses to acknowledge that global warming is real? some of the things that Donald Trump has done and brought to the surface towards needing to be done has been a good thing. But then there's been other things that the leader of the free world has refused to acknowledge. And I just don't get it pertaining to the fires, the floods, all the other irregularity deals that's going on with the weather. See, there's that other hurricane, Teddy, that I'm talking about. Let's listen for a second.
Bermuda over the next few days, it's going to stir up some strong rip currents and rough surf on the East Coast beaches. So be careful there if you're heading out to the beaches.
So that one got lucky, and it don't look like it's going to head towards New York. But one of these days, there's going to be a massive hurricane that's going to hit the New York City region. And whenever it does, it's going to cause havoc.
Forecast for tonight, well, not good beach weather. Lows in the 40s for you with... Oh, it's going to feel more like October from Atlanta to Charlotte, even back off toward Birmingham, Alabama. You'll see some thunderstorms in South Florida and on the Louisiana and Texas Gulf Coast as we head into Sunday. Forecast for tonight, Tampa, Florida, muggy, 77, a shower early. Atlanta and Myrtle Beach, you are cool, in the 50s, opening up the windows, turning off the AC. Forecast as we head into tomorrow. Spotty showers for you in South Florida. Otherwise, much of the southeast looks dry and cool. 70s for highs tomorrow in Atlanta and Myrtle Beach. South central U.S., a pleasant day for most, Dallas included, but on the Gulf Coast from New Orleans southwestward, you're looking at a tropical surge as Beta gets a little bit closer, and coastal impacts will be wide-ranging. As Beta drifts in over the next couple of days, we're going to have building surf, rip currents, and of course, increasingly windy conditions as well. Tonight's forecast for south central U.S., we got 59 in Dallas, pretty comfortable for you. Could see some showers in Houston, a little bit muggy, 69 for a low. Tomorrow, look for highs in the 80s with hazy sunshine in Dallas. Houston, a good chance for wind and rain, and also hazy in Oklahoma City, upper 70s. A comfortable day for the north central on Sunday, kind of cool in the Midwest and a little bit warmer in the plains. Looking at low temperatures tonight, 40s to near 50 for much of the region with clear skies. A little bit cool out there for you. As we head towards Sunday,
how about all the fires? How about all the fires?
Easiness with the sunshine, though, for Chicago and Minneapolis, but temperatures look good. In the northwest, a tranquil pattern. Areas of smoke are gradually shifting to the east of the Cascades, up into Montana especially. Your current air quality shows these bad pockets of air quality across Montana, Idaho, and also into portions of the California Valley. Forecast for tonight, low clouds, Portland and Oregon, and
very short number of days.
Yeah, no, and I think you made a great point, too, about the opposing parties controlling the White House and the Senate, and that's an omission that every...
Life.
Star Wars is amazing.
Change the way...
Breathe better. I started once daily in oral.
So bring that battle on, because that's a great optic for Democrats.
Yeah, good luck. Tammy, what do you think about that battle as it rages right now? Do you think this takes kind of the COVID-19 situation out of Biden's hands?
Well, it does already. A lot of the news, we were having the lists of the number of deaths and the discussions. It was leading all of the news when it comes to schools, et cetera. The COVID, the virus was leading for the Democrats. They wanted it to. They thought that is what makes President Trump weak. That rally we just saw sounded like 2016.
Yep.
He is inspired. He is energized. He understands that this kind of a fight the Republicans win on. Americans don't like what's been going on in the country. They don't like riots. They don't like to be threatened. And the Democrats are going in that direction. And certainly none of the things they're threatening are what Ruth Bader Ginsburg wanted. So the Republicans must act and quickly and get it done.
Greg, do you see this galvanizing Republican support? I sure do. I know it'll galvanize the Democrats, but you got to go toe-to-toe. We got an election here.
I think it will, and history and precedent is on President Trump's side. A full 1/3 of American presidents have nominated Supreme Court justices during an election year. George Washington set that precedent, and in fact, 6 presidents have actually nominated justices after they lost re-election, but before their successor was sworn in. So don't buy into this Merrick Garland strategy.
That's right.
Don't buy into it. All right. You have a beautiful kitchen, Jarrett. Looking good. Justice with Judge Janine is right.
It was the year when a politician should have said no. A Starship captain said, make it so.
Hours earlier, as he was leaving the White House on his way to that rally. I want you to take a look at it.
I will be putting forth a nominee next week. It will be a woman.
Are saying yes to Allegra, including the experts. It's the #1 allergist recommend.
It would be a woman. I would, if somebody were to ask me now, I would say that a woman would be in first place. Yes, the choice of a woman, I would say, would certainly be appropriate.
Yeah. From more likely than it will be a woman.
Or Joe Biden. Polls show the race is neck and neck. Some claiming President Trump is slightly behind. Newsmax wants to know your opinion. It just takes a minute to vote. Just text us and register your vote now. Let America hear your voice.
President.
That was Senator.
Had an affair.
Was president in 2016 with a vacancy on the Supreme Court. But times have changed, and so has the president.
How we feeling?
Republican leaders are plotting a full-throated effort to fill Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg's seat, with the election just 45 days away.
1987, Jim and Tammy resigned from PTL, and the crying ensues.
She was always going on TV with the streaks of eye makeup coming down her face. She looked a little bit like Alice Cooper.
She could have easily bought some Maybelline waterproof mascara, which they had at the time, but she chose to use like watered down charcoal briquettes.
I remember seeing t-shirts that had makeup smeared all over them that said, I ran into Tammy Faye. It was a sad moment for them as humans, but really an entertaining moment for America.
Tammy Faye eventually divorces Jim Baker and starts to pick up the pieces of her life. Interestingly enough, she eventually becomes a gay icon.
Not to be too harsh, but there's a whole drag queen element there. I can totally see why the gay community would totally embrace Tammy Faye Baker.
Jim Baker was convicted in a federal court for conspiracy, mail and wire fraud, and was sentenced to 25 years in a federal prison.
It's always the cover-up, it's never the crime. But in that case, I think the crime would have got him too.
The Fox Broadcasting Company.
In 1987, you had the big three networks. You had ABC, NBC, CBS. You had PBS.
Fox had the audacity to say, we're going to create another network.
It was like, whoa, we have something else to watch.
Love and marriage, love and marriage.
Fox Sunday Night went on air for the first time on April 5th, 1987 with a show called Married with Children, which was the raunchiest family comedy anyone had ever seen.
Fox really changed the dynamic of television because it felt like they were showing a part of humanity that we didn't necessarily see before.
It's like the ultimate in American satire. It's just a complete and total flip of every sitcom ever.
It was a very different take on the modern family. You've got, you know, the horny teenage son, the slutty teenage girl, the horny wife, and then you've got this just defeated father. All he wanted to do was watch TV and be left alone.
With the hand in the pants, just fantastic.
It was every guy who peaked in high school's life. Except it was funny.
You cannot go to the game tonight.
Why not?
Because I invited company over.
Company? Who the hell would want to come over here?
I remember people being so, oh, this is so outrageous, this is so terrible.
I know a lot of families who couldn't watch that. Their parents would not let them watch it.
Fox was crucial when it comes to putting raunchy, real comedy on television. Not everything was cookie cutter, not everything was nice, and Fox said, hey, let's just reflect society in a way that hasn't been reflected yet, and they did a pretty great job.
I am a candidate for the presidency of the United States.
Gary Hart. That was back in the day when political scandals meant something.
He looked like he was going to be the next president of the United States.
Gary Hart was the perfect political figure You know, he had good political hair, he had a good political smile, he seemed to have a message.
He announces in April of '87 that he is a candidate for the Democratic nomination.
He seemed like the perfect politician. And then, of course, he got caught in the perfect scandal.
It wasn't long until whispers started about him and a woman who was not his wife.
At one point, he was talking to a reporter, and he challenged the reporter.
He says, if you have any doubt, follow me around.
Obviously, when you do that, you're getting followed everywhere you go. It's like real-time TMZ.
Pretty soon, they see one of his campaign aides is at his house overnight. The woman's name is Donna Rice. Both Donna Rice and Gary Hart deny that there's anything sexual to the relationship. But now, every political opposition researcher is on alert that something is going on with Gary Hart.
In those days, we didn't have the internet, obviously, so this scandal was all over the newsstands.
The National Enquirer ran pictures of Donna Rice with Hart on a boat in Florida, and the boat famously was called Monkey Business.
Okay, Exhibit A, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a problem for Gary Hart.
Within a month, Gary Hart drops out of the Democratic primary game.
The irony is the nomination went to Michael Dukakis, a man no one wanted to have sex with.
1987 was an innocent time for America when a senator who had a consensual affair was forced to step down. Now I think it's a prerequisite just to run.
And Doug.
You know, as Republicans have in the past, now you have them really focus on this. I think you're going to see a real sharp arguments from both sides about why the Supreme Court matters.
The comparison we really have in this environment is 2018 with Brett Kavanaugh. There was probably no more partisan moment of
ourselves about giving a great guest experience.
It almost had nothing to do with Trump. Obviously, he nominated Kavanaugh, but still.
Forward without delay. And you said...
Feeling that McConnell and Trump might be at odds a little bit here because...
Wow, milestone. Look at that on the right-hand side. U.S. total deaths, coronavirus pandemic, 200,348 deaths. And what is this? 19th of September, 2020? 2,200,000. We lost 3,000 people in 9/11. How many 9/11s is that right there? If you do 3,000 count, how many 9/11s is that? That would be right at 100. No, it wouldn't be that many. Right at 70. Let's say America had to relive 70 different 9/11s that happen again and again and again within the span of what? 6 months? A little more than 6 months? You think people would be freaking out in this country? But yet now, people don't seem to be freaking out. Not like they would if there were 70 9/11s. Unbelievable.
I didn't have a lot of training. I thought maybe she could have...
It's in 2016, Matt. About Mary Garland.
26.
Oh, now.
Of President Obama's lower tier nominees. And so what he did is he...
It's unbelievable in a sad way that the American people isn't more in tune with the grief and the despair. Good luck to all of us. and shalom.